Um ano e meio depois da noite da liberação. Opa, tem um rádio aqui agora.
The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and we need your help. Throughout this broadcast, we're going to ask you to do things that will directly help with this mass protest. I'll be talking to you regularly tonight, and I'll also be hacking in when I can. Please help get our message out. We're on the verge, Alex. You've always been fair and balanced in your approach to us. With your help, we can tip the balance in our favor. If you play our tape at the second break, that's when we think it will have the most impact. It's on your right.
Mais uma fita, mano. Meio maluco, liquidação relâmpago. Só deixa tocando aí.
He's a wanted criminal, Colin.
So's my nan, but she never misses her birthday.
Your grandmother's on the run, Colin.
Yeah, armed robbery, resisting arrest, double homicide of the same bloke. She's right laugh.
I hope he's alright though. No, he's got this far and your brother was fine.
A outra veio com o pincel e foi embora.
I wonder what they're doing to him. Annoying him, probably. Not probably, definitely. Going in 5, 4, 3... Good evening, this is the National Nightly News broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolf. Our top stories tonight. Future legend. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted multiple attacks across the territories. During the coordinated action, subsequently dubbed the Night of Fire, emergency services were kept busy at the agricultural centres, while a series of covert attacks were carried out freeing political prisoners, including former newsman Jeremy Donaldson. Nothing has been heard from the missing journalist since the violent Disrupt attack on his convoy 6 weeks ago. Donaldson was on his way back to Betterment after his notorious court appearance. All of us here at Channel 1 hope that wherever he is now, he's safe. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today, Advance confirmed that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that
aconteceu umas bombas, explodiu umas bombas no país.
Promising a healthy, nutritious diet designed to keep all citizens at peak performance, the menu centres used locally sourced produce for that farm-to-plate experience without the need for spreading manure in your tighty-whities. If I were a rich man, problems in territories 11, 17 and 22 today as striking bosses attempted to undermine their new economies. With seemingly no awareness of irony, the former CEOs and MDs have come together to form the Wealth Creators Union, with demands including a return to 150% bonuses, private jets and mandatory grovelling zones. Advance had been quick to respond, saying if they would rather quit their cushy jobs to become nurses or teachers, they'll earn significantly more than they used to pay their own workforce. Thus far, no one has taken up the challenge. Some fun now. Signs of ever more resistance to Advance's radical policies today as popular resistance movement Disrupt extended their reach further across the territories. The organisation's emblem appeared in every major city across the territories last night in a well-coordinated publicity stunt, which has seen them dominate the headlines. Asked about the impressive display earlier today, Disrupt spokesperson Alan James said that the movement was reaching what he described as a critical mass. A poor choice of words given recent history. 3 of our regular stories reach their natural conclusions tonight. CEO RIP. Sad news today as the remains of missing Sophia Rimington were found this morning at the company's Grizzleford facility. Sophia had become ever more reclusive following the total and utter failure of her pet project. Having flung herself into one of the toxic preparation vats, she was only identifiable by her ears. A spokesman for Rimington's Fist said, "Sophia will remain in our hearts and in the approximately 45,000 flards that rolled off the production line in the last few days." A tragic ending for Sophia Rimington after a turbulent 2.5 years since she took over the company. Fun guy. Unexpected news today as 2 familiar scientists announced the birth of an extraordinary child. The underground struggle of doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvoord captured the hearts of people around the world. And after an arduous return voyage, which took over a year, the couple say they've never been happier. Baby Dante is said to be healthy, if a bit partial to the airing cupboard. Man United. They're happily ever after for Johnny Hamsleeves and partner and former teammate Eric Justin, who
Não tem muita opção, parece. Tá sendo igual agora.
Speaking as the pair headed off for their honeymoon in Territory 15, Johnny acknowledged that there would be many in the football world who wouldn't accept his choice of partner. I think it's time people grew up, he said. Some people are ginger. Get over it. All that, plus we'll be taking a trip to Dangley Parks for the notice board, as well as getting a sneak peek at the hottest ticket in town. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Today is the day we take back control. Soon it will be time for you to help us again. Come out of your houses, block the traffic, bring the capital to a standstill. I've met so many of you in my travels up and down Territory 1. You always ask the same question. How can I help? Well, this is how. And as for when, you'll know. Keep watching.
But first, 500 days after the loss of a fine leader and a great man.
Mentira, velho. Tava certinho.
Dedicated to remembering and celebrating the life of Peter Clement. Patrick Bannon is live from Parliament Park, where Julia Salisbury will be breaking ground on what will soon be a memorial garden in Peter's honour. Patrick.
Listening to that old bitch lying through her teeth about missing that poor bastard.
Patrick.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're live.
Because I'm not being funny. Things were better with Peter, weren't they?
Patrick.
They were, and I don't mind saying it. They were, because he held her back. But now they can't say that, can I, Francis?
Oops.
No, not with public ownership. No, with public ownership, you can't say anything these days. She's lost it, mate. She's completely off the rocker. I heard from an aide that...
Cara.
Hello, Megan, you join me here. What?
Ai, caramba. É 1:03.
Oh.
Oh.
We've lost some signal there for a moment. Well, we will be going live to that groundbreaking ceremony just as soon as we can get back. Meanwhile, let me just say, I think the memorial gardens are going to be gorgeous. I've had a sneak peek at the designs and Alana Marsh has done a fabulous job. Oh, OK, all right, it seems like we have got the signal back. We can now go live to Patrick Bannon in Parliament Park. Patrick.
Thank you, Megan. I'm Patrick Bannon, and we are indeed live here. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. But any moment now, Julia Salisbury will step out on stage behind me.
Alex, Bozeman here. The boys in editing have just informed me that the eulogy footage isn't fully cut together yet. You're going to have to do it on the fly. For goodness sake, make sure you make it look good.
Slowly gathering since this afternoon.
Pera, quê?
You can undermine them here and help us win hearts and minds. Make him look bad, Alex. Really bad.
And it seems like the ceremony is getting underway. Here is Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, the picture of elegance, to begin her address.
Good evening, fellow teammates and friends.
Não entendi o que os caras falaram pra eu fazer. É pra eu censurar ela, talvez?
From the triumphs and tribulations of Liberation Night, another great loss befell the people of these newly united territories. The loss of a leader, a statesman, a dear friend, and a hero. Peter Gordon Clement.
Peter's death at the age of just 62, of course, announced by the team on the 24th of December, just 6 weeks after Liberation Night.
Ih, cara faleceu.
Born to a working-class family on a housing estate in Rotherham, Peter first trained as a carpenter before getting his start on television. First moving and building scenery, and then developing into the personality that we all knew and loved so much.
Just the Job first hit our screens over 25 years ago, running for 11 series, winning multiple awards, and charming audiences up and down the country.
Peter taught us, all of us, not to be content with the way things are. Not to accept inequities, no matter how small. But he also taught us what it took to fight them. Courage, integrity, empathy, and hard, bloody graft.
Across a career spanning 3 decades, Peter Clement was known for shows including Wake Up, It's Saturday, and much later, late night chat show Petey, which at its peak drew millions of viewers.
Peter was by no means a saint. Trust me, he once told me he had more regrets than he'd had stolen dinners. He always did have a knack for a turn of phrase. But it speaks to the strength of his character that he chose to share with us his mistakes alongside his achievements, his faults as well as his talents. Peter had the heart to give it all he had for the people of these united territories.
Famous for his potty mouth, it's estimated conservatively that Peter Clement uttered over 1.5 million swear words during his career, though some sources put this figure well in excess of 2 million F-bombs alone.
Hidratação.
Gripped by illness as he was in the weeks and months leading up to Liberation Night, he wasn't the man we loved.
Tá, o 2 parece que é o lado ruim, né?
His eyes
Ou
still
não, não
twinkled
sei.
with that familiar joy for life, that spark of wit and wisdom of a life lived for others.
Prime Minister Clement, of course, died from apparent liver failure after suffering from the long-term effects of alcohol abuse.
I first met Peter nearly 20 years ago, moments before I was supposed to give a speech. Not unlike this one, actually. Only I'd spilt coffee all down myself, and I was young, nervous, desperate to be liked, and from behind me I heard, "Christ, pet, you've either pissed your kecks or sprung a leak, but either way you got a problem." And before I could even say a word, he'd stripped off his dry trousers and insisted I took them. That was the sort of man that Peter Clement was. Kind, compassionate, sensitive, a brilliant thinker, a natural leader, but mostly a good man.
Nossa, ela falando ali de que o cara era legal, sei lá o que.
This glorious,
E aí coloca a imagem dele xingando todo mundo, né?
beautiful and new, this shining beacon of
Maybe you could edit more in our favour next time. Things are about to get started.
Eu não entendi, cara, como é que faz.
The public gets. You'll know when, Alex.
The future he forged, the boundaries he pushed. To me, he'll always be the man in his pants cheering on a stranger at the back of the conference. It is my great honor to give to you.
Mano, tem um cara muito alto, né, na frente ali, velho. Ele tá muito na frente da câmera, praticamente.
I'm going. Everyone with me. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Eita!
Now, Alex, control the message.
I'm not leaving, I can't.
Oi!
You two, come with me. Don't panic. Help us here, look. We're gonna help you. We need a medic here. Are you hurting me?
Well, stop resisting then. Stop resisting and we'll let you up.
I'm not resisting. Ah! Fuck
What are you doing?
You two, stay with me.
Mum, we have to stay by your side.
I am the Prime Minister, and if I give you an order...
Turn the camera off. National Night News. You have the right to be here.
Understand? Yes, Mom.
Keep your eyes open. Oh, who the fuck are you?
Oh, I can't. Help us here. We've got you. I've got you. I've got you.
Mano.
Stay with me. No. Stay with me.
Well, then you can consider this payback.
Até a repórter tá zoada ali também.
Salisbury's still here.
We're going to request authorization.
Salisbury! You were guilty of the murder of more than 10 million people.
Target armed. Haven't you done enough? Look around you.
Fucking
This is what your precious freedom
Ele vai
looks
tirar.
like. Everyone, rise up! Take to the streets. The time is
Mano, o
up.
que tá acontecendo?
Break windows, draw them out. They can't stop us all. Resist. Distract. Lower your weapons. Location secure. Lower your weapons. Authorization was granted. None. It was unnecessary. Can't you see? Will you turn that off, please, sir? I said, please turn that off.
Que gentileza, né? Muita gentileza.
Is this not enough?
You've just seen them execute unarmed civilians, people like you and me. So why are you watching this? Why are you not in the streets with us tonight? What will it take for you to get up and be a part of this? March on team headquarters, storm the building, demand elections, demand answers. Be what you were born to be, the once and future free.
That means by now. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Tá, o cara falou pra tocar essa segunda fita na segunda parte, né?
Distance from the unit base.
Será que era agora? Agora eu fiquei confuso. Se era agora, se era depois. Agora já foi.
Great. So there's a revolution happening outside and we're off to dangly fucking parts.
That's journalism, apparently. Can we get set for the next sequence?
Ah, mas... Caraca, também, né? Quem que não quer ver essas coisas acontecendo na TV? Os caos. Quer dizer, né? Acho que muita gente não quer, né? Mas acaba ali, tipo, virando interesse de geral, porque, né? Acaba virando o assunto do povo.
Alex, during this next section, a cameraman working in the newsroom who's one of us is going to get a coded location out. We don't know yet which camera he's on, but if we find out, I'll let you know. Just keep your eyes out for the fist and try and keep it on the air for at least 5 seconds. Our operatives will do the rest.
Calma, não entendi muito bem. Nossa.
This is your new makeup artist, Craig.
No.
What?
No.
10 seconds, everybody. Sorry, Craig. It's a no. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, Megan Wolfe. Very shortly, we'll be heading on over to the final episode of what has quickly become a hugely successful feature, the notice board. But before we do, let's chat with Philippa Reagan.
Nossa,
Tell me,
continuar com aquele episódio.
Love the notice board so much.
It's real. There, I said it. It connects with people. You know, people look at us and they say, those are real people struggling with real problems.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to my PA secretary as I got out the limo, I was saying, it's good for people to see normal, authentic people like them on TV.
People like you.
Yeah, precisely.
Right.
Unfortunately, then I was interrupted by some dreadful wretch who wanted an autograph, but a swift kicking from security soon put him back in line.
Yes, well, I think it's really good that our screens are filled with such relatable stories. So, the notice board is coming to an end after a sensational time at the top. What do you think has made this show so successful?
Oh, it's a combination of so many things. My hard work, my talent, my look.
Wow, we really have a lot to thank you for.
Hey. You're welcome.
We've just heard. Our man's on camera 4.
I have a real sense of responsibility now. You know, a sense I've been entrusted with something precious.
Get back to the interview, Alex.
Use that platform for good.
Yeah.
7 segundos o cara falou, meu Deus do céu.
We should use this platform to do good in the world, I agree.
That's exactly it. So I've decided
Nossa, foi o
to
tempo
help
certinho.
as many underprivileged
Excellent work, Alex. That's the location shared. Next, you'll need to give them the go.
Is that better access to education or, you know, reducing child poverty?
No, by adopting as many as I can get my hands on.
Oh, okay. How many children have you adopted?
Oh, we're well into the double figures now, Megan. I stopped counting in the late 30s.
Goodness, that is a lot of children.
Yeah,
Aqui,
once we finish putting
30.
them into the guest room, I'll have to put a futon in the laundry cupboard.
Oh, you really are some sort of hero.
Hey, I live a privileged life. What can I say? I mean, any child I can take on is a child rescued from suffering.
Poor children. Were their lives really that bad before?
Oh, they're northerns, I presume so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shocking to think, actually, that only 1 in 10,000 children have a celebrity parent.
I'd never thought of it that way before.
And I'm doing everything I can to fix those numbers.
What do you think it is about your life that's so desirable then?
Tô vendo uns barulhos.
Well, it's mainly shame and panic interspersed with expensive bottled water, so actually, if anyone wants to, I'd happily trade.
Now that I can relate to. Right, you better go off and get ready. That was Philippa Reagan sharing some thoughts about her lifestyle. I think it's really important to stay grounded and keep everything in perspective. Clearly, not everyone else agrees, but that's enough for me. Let's go now over to Dangly Parts for the final ever episode of the notice board.
E voltamos pra esse negócio, esse programa.
What a day! First the tea morning, and now to post this notice. I don't know how I managed to cope with it all. Oh wait, perhaps I do.
Ué. Esse 2 aqui, esse cimento, velho.
Oh! By St. Barnabas, what on earth is all this?
Freeze, dirtbag!
Oh, Laura, it's you. I thought for a moment you were a knife-wielding mugger or stabber.
No, I'm afraid not. It's just me, a community cohesion officer, responsible for keeping crime at record lows.
Of course. Keep forgetting that thanks to you and your colleagues, violence on our streets is a thing of the past.
What's all this, Vicar?
Nossa, tá meio cortado
I know.
os efeitos.
It's a disgrace. Somebody
It's time for the go code. Give us 3 boos in a row, Alex. That will start the pincer movement.
3 vaias seguidos.
Just pull this off. Push forwards! 3 boos, Alex.
Careful, Vicar. It looks heavy.
Ha! They don't call me the Right Reverend. Ripped for no reason.
Yes!
It's no good.
It looks like all those crucifix classes were a waste of time.
Perhaps you, a young CCO, would be able to move it.
2 for 2. Fantastic.
Looks like all those lifting classes were a waste of time.
It's too heavy, even for me, a strong and capable woman.
You did it, Alex.
Surely
We're good to go.
strong enough to lift this.
Did someone call for the best firefighter in town? Hi!
Well done, Captain Evans. You're so much stronger than us.
Especially me, the weak
Explodiu alguma
old
coisa.
man.
It's the least I could do for my community.
No luck catching the little devil then?
Unfortunately not. The ferret struck again last night. When Ray opened the post office this morning, he found that every single stamp had been pre-licked.
My God!
Some people have no decency.
Sadly, if we don't catch him before tomorrow, we may have to cancel the village fete.
Don't worry, we won't let that happen. Will we, Vicar?
No, no, no. Laura, tell me, why do they call him the ferret?
Some say it's because of his sneaky nature. But really it's because whenever he strikes, he always leaves behind the foul stench of urine.
Never fear, officer. We'll catch this pissy nuisance and save the village fete. Or my name's not Captain Danger Evans. The community cohesion team are doing their best, but they simply don't have the smarts to solve this mystery. But I know someone who does. Someone who's about to blow this thing wide open. Me! Blackout!
Mano, tá acontecendo esse negócio. Eu tô realmente muito por fora dessa história.
It's the morning of the village fete, thanks to theatrical convention.
I sure hope everything goes to plan. Oh, look! There's Mrs. Craven setting up her cake stall.
And look, there's the motorcycle display team setting up for a show that will be far too expensive for live television.
I'm going to set up the coconut shy. What are you doing, Vicar?
First, I'm running the tombola. Then, I'll be selling forgiveness for money.
Aren't you judging the jams?
I couldn't possibly.
Well, that sounded like Mrs. Craven. Looks like someone sucked all the jam out of her donuts.
That damn ferret has struck again!
Whatever are we to do?
Although I'm very competent, I have no idea how to solve this case.
I guess we'll just have to cancel the fate.
Hold it right there, ferret.
Me? Have you been drinking from the fire extinguishers again?
Not you, the vicar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Admit it.
Olha
You
esse dedinho
wanted the
dele.
village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
I already have to work Sundays. I shouldn't have to work 2 days a week.
But how did you know?
Well, my first clue was the smell.
Yes, I do smell of urine.
Next, I noticed that the vicar's tongue was particularly dry, almost as if he'd been licking thousands and thousands of stamps.
Or perhaps eating Mrs. Craven's baking.
Which brings me on to my third clue. The vicar said that
Ó, tá
he
explodindo as coisas.
had no more room for jam.
Almost as if he'd had his fill.
Precisely.
But you managed to figure it all out from that?
Well, I also found this at the scene.
That proves nothing. No!
Get him out of here, officer!
You did it, Captain. You could say you ferreted him out.
Hey, come on. Let's go and have a party in my massive garden. I am doing well.
Thanks to you, we're all doing well.
Agora foi, hein? Não foi, não sei se foi continuação, né, daquele episódio do outro dia, né, mas...
And what a way to end it. Thank you as always to Jeff, Philippa and Tommy. After the break, we'll be both dancing and learning. So don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
That's the ads. Well done, everybody.
Wow! What a
Agora vai a propaganda aí dos caras.
party at my place, eh?
What advert is this, Alex? I don't remember passing it for broadcast. I think you made a mistake there.
I've got 4 kinds of sausage. Hey, you. You come to the after party? Oh,
Ranquier. Foi ruim e acho que de propósito, né?
Alex, we're closing in. One of the guests in the last section is working with us. You'll be asked to censor on our behalf. If you do it right, the final orders will be given. We'll get 3 chances. Get at least 2 of them right, and we're going to win this thing. It's happening, Alex. Tonight we take it back.
40 segundos, meu Deus do céu. Tá, ainda bem que essas coisas não tem mais o ventilador, né, pra gente ficar controlando, não tem mais os raios. Nossa, imagina se fosse tudo ao mesmo tempo, ia ser um sufoco.
We are infantilized by advance's naive policies.
Please, Sarah,
Policies
anything.
born from
Mum, I'm really not supposed to say.
absurd.
Hi, I'm Maddie. Jenny just said to ask if you need a touch-up.
Did she? That's my shade, is it?
Yeah.
This is my shade? You can run back to Jenny now. Sorry about that, Sarah. Nothing you can tell me. At all, like at all.
They've said no one's died, that's all I can say.
10 seconds.
What's wrong with you?
She is in tears.
Mas, gente.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later in this segment, we're hoping to be able to go back to Patrick Bannon at the scene of tonight's shocking Disrupt attack. But first,
13
I'm
minutos.
delighted to be joined by the cast of the smash hit musical everyone is talking about. I'll be speaking with the cast in a moment, but first, let's take a look at them in action. Please give a warm National Nightly welcome to the Novaries.
Hello? Doctor?
Hello, it's me.
Thank you for letting me know. I have a decent life. I'm a happy, loving wife. And my job is well paid and fulfilling. I have a husband, John. He's due home soon, won't be long. And I have to tell him something that is absolutely chilling. We share coffee in the morning and we make love every day. We take time alone together to talk and laugh and play. We prioritize our needs. We do charity.
Tá balançando tudo. Acho que não vai dar nem pra terminar essa música aqui, vai explodir tudo.
I'm home. Oh darling John, oh dearest John, there's something very wrong. I've just had a conversation with our doctor David Wants, so please be seated. This news will make you feel defeated. The scans revealed a lump. You poor unlucky chump. Is it cancer? Worse, oh John.
Eu tô conseguindo pegar o ritmo da música.
How can this be? Oh, woe is me. Why has this happened to me? I always wear 2 condoms for the maximum of
Safety in our tiny flat. We built a peaceful habitat. Now our lives are fucked. We're having a baby. Now you can't have any wine at book club.
And there won't be any time for foot rubs.
Now your hair will stink of weed.
And you'll start to disagree.
And forget about that holiday in territory 3. No more waking up at 10:30. In fact, you're never going to get a good night's sleep again. No more snap decisions to go on to a club. You'll be lucky if you even make it out to the pub. Why can't we be more like our gay and lesbian chums?
The only glue they have to deal with comes from personal bums.
Now when I take a sick day at home,
The parasite won't leave you alone.
how he's grown. We're our top priority. I look after you, and you look after me. Ain't no trouble and strife. We got a childless life. No one wails and no one bawls. No one draws things on the walls.
A happy husband.
A wonderful wife. We got a childless life. We're having a baby. We're having a baby. Changing
Ó,
nappies
vocês deu pista.
We're having a baby. No more weekends by the coast. Now
Cheio de music, e aí, é tudo.
it's more than a passing craze to have childless day.
Posso tentar fazer um negócio assim também, bem mais rápido.
We're having a baby.
Food and drink thrown everywhere. Death trap toys at the top of the stairs. Every parent
Deu certo.
raised our childless babies.
We're having a baby.
No more slides and no more. We're having a baby. 18 years on bills and leaves. Time for
Ah, mas deve ser horrível de assistir esse negócio aí.
We're having a baby.
one more thing before the show begins. Have you considered that you might be having twins?
Acabou. Mas conseguimos, pegamos o 8 vezes, né? Meu Deus do céu.
Amazing. The Novaries there, treating us to their opening number from Elegy for a Childless Life, which is currently the hottest ticket in the Capital Theatre District, and will be touring the territories later this year. Right then, come on you lot, come on down, let's go, don't be shy.
Hi Megan. It's an honour to be here.
Oh really, are you fans of the show? Yes.
Os caras já estão aqui, já estão ligeiros, hein?
Listen, let's get stuck in. Your amazing musical. Now, I mean, not only do you perform this show every Saturday,
Ainda bem que não conhece.
With matinees on Wednesday and
Ué.
Saturday.
right, but you're also the show's creators, am I right?
Well, everyone contributed their ideas, and then some of us went away and did the actual work on the script. But no, it's very much a team effort.
Oh, that's fantastic. How rude
Tá
of me.
explodindo as coisas lá fora,
Any
mano.
of you. I'll be the one being replaced next. Let's go down the line, shall we?
Hi, I'm Jack.
Jim Blunt. Pleasure to be here.
Jennifer Boren-Woodley.
Hello, I'm John Satley. Used to be in the business professionally.
My name's Jill, with a J.
And I'm Janet. I'm the youngest.
That's incredible. And you were all friends previously. I mean, what a coincidence, right? With your names beginning with a J.
Pera, aqui todos eles começam com J agora. Eu nem me toquei.
Our names all begin with J.
How have we never noticed?
John, Jack,
Because you haven't typed them out
Jennifer,
1,000 times.
meu Deus.
You knew? Why didn't you
Janet.
say anything?
I thought we all knew. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? I just thought we were doing a funny thing where we never mentioned it. And I believe, as well as being friends, you're also
Mano,
couples.
tô fazendo mó guerra lá
In real
fora.
life as well as in the show.
Well, not exactly.
I'm not married to him. I'm with Janet.
And I'm with John, you lucky bean.
Jim and I are married.
4 fabulous years.
Oh, that must make for some confusion in the rehearsal room.
Well, you should have seen the first draft. Jen decided that Jack would play Jim, I would play Jack, Jen Janet, Jill Jen, Janet Jill.
What about John?
Well, my character was originally just called Man 1.
It was allegorical.
It was very confusing.
Not for a professional.
After much toing and froing.
And gnashing and wailing.
And gin and tonic.
We decided that we'd just use our own names, which is less truthful.
We're also less likely to go into the wrong dressing rooms.
Oh, God, yeah, that would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Of course, when I first wrote it, we were only meant to run for a few nights at the Mimbley Village Hall, but when I registered it with the Department for Culture, it caught the eye of someone high up, and before you could say overnight sensation, we were transferring to the capital!
It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, really. I'm only 19. I'm the youngest.
You really don't have to repeat that.
I had to give up my job as
Repetindo a
an
mesma
electrical
coisa, né?
technician.
Well, yes, we all had to move to the capital.
I love that job.
It's been a very turbulent time.
So peaceful, no singing.
This piece isn't political.
Stand by, Alex. Censor the orange.
It's about children.
Censurar o laranja? Quem que é censurar a laranja?
Have them.
Ah, tá aqui, né?
I guess it is political, with a small p. After all, we are a solid unit, and eagle-eyed audience members will see we nod our heads to advance on stage throughout, and we target the messaging at women aged 22, well, about 35, as they're the most likely to be afflicted by this terrible problem.
Terrible problem.
Having children.
Well, you understand, Megan.
You clearly agree.
Wow, this isn't about me.
Of course, we see that there are advantages to a family unit, but eagle-eyed couples watch as the little parasites advance on their lives, and there's no time to play the guitar, get through a book, or watch a movie. They're exhausted, passed out on the couch by 20 to 9, for God's sake.
You're very chatty tonight, dear.
Usually I'm the chatty one, because...
You're the youngest, we know. It's not a badge of honour,
Porque eu fico focando em censurar o negócio aqui e não muda a câmera.
John, thanks, Jack. Got you back.
So, could you just tell us what is the play about? What happens in it? Well, go ahead. It's a tragedy, obviously. Jennifer, my mum, and John have their child, and then the story charts the downfall of their hopes and dreams.
And there's lots of singing.
And dancing.
A lot.
My character works at a menu centre for a distribution unit. Eagle-eyed, she sees her friend's rapid advance to a pit of despair. Becoming a target for children's TV advertising at the age of 22,
Esqueci de trocar a câmera. Para de esquecer de trocar a
I can't
câmera.
really say more though. I probably said too much already.
Let's not spoil the second act for anyone who might come to see it.
Which should be all of you. For too long, we've been told
Ignorou completamente aqui a entrevista.
children is somehow incomplete, that children are a blessing. Well, I've done the research, and they're not. Besides, there's already loads of bastards running around all over the place, so...
We just want people to have the option of a happy, child-free life without stigma. You know, when I was 14, before I had come out, I had an experience with a girl called Julia Jacobs.
Voltou lá para aquela
I guess, you
no
know,
lugar lá.
chance to dip my toes into the...
Fascinating. Well, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I really hope you keep them dancing in the aisles for many performances to come. The Noble is there. And I am pleased to say we can now go back to Patrick Bannon to get the latest from the scene of tonight's horrific events. Patrick, Are you okay?
Thank you, Megan. This is Patrick Bannon reporting from the scene of tonight's devastating and symbolic attack tonight this evening. An attack which I myself have found myself caught up in. I'm still a little dazed and a little deaf, Megan, so I hope you'll forgive me if I seem that it's time to speak with the Prime Minister. Mrs. Salisbury, that's you. You're still here. The Prime Minister.
I couldn't leave, not when there were people that needed help. Any team player would have done the same. I don't deserve praise for being human.
Yes, no accolades here. Or Palisades. Or lemonade. Right. So, is the situation now, are we safe?
Yes, the security services perform their duties without hesitation. And I would like to assure the public that although there have been some injuries, there were no civilian deaths here this evening.
Oh, that's good news about the Sorry, did you say no deaths?
That's right. No civilian deaths. Just the 4 disrupt terrorists curtailed by law enforcement who were, as always, so cohesive. If I may, I have a message for your viewers.
Of course, the camera, there's the speak there, on the camera there.
Stay at home tonight. Do not become another casualty of war. Disrupt have had their moment, but as the dear departed Peter Clements once famously said, it ends today.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for those strong words of strength. Back to the studio. Megan, now in the studio with Megan Wolf now.
Patrick Bannon there, bravely reporting from the front line of tonight's horrifying bombing. Maybe you need
Então, outra tá passando mal ali. Ela tá meio desnorteada ainda, né? Ela falou. Ih, caramba. Tá caça de agulha.
My friends, you have mobilized. You have come together. From our agents at the television networks risking arrest and getting those words to you, to the many hundreds and thousands gathering to invade team headquarters. As I speak, we are turning the tide, and it is time for change. Tonight we topple their regime, and we also silence their
Nossa, imagina que esse jogo deve ter monte de final, né?
Time to wake up.
Out from the shadows, and they are not the overwhelming force they would have you believe. The military have been actioned, and well, it's pretty scary out there tonight, so stay at home and stay with Channel 1, because the team has assured this programme that the turbulence will soon be over, and we can once again focus our minds on building the new future with equality, fairness and resources for all. My name is Megan Wolf. Let's make
Isso foi perto.
Damn it, Alex. Tonight is the beginning of the fall of advance. Fighter jet, 11 o'clock. Charges free, sir. Mission to detonate. Permission granted, old friend. We are going to detonate. Look out of your window, Alex. See what you helped make happen.
Nossa, derrubou a torre. Eu achava que era mais perto. É na outra rua ali, sei lá. Mano, a guerra acontecendo. Acho que deu ruim, né? Obviamente que deu ruim. Ok, sequência a mais, depois Z e depois C. Meu Deus do céu. Daqui foi o que a gente fez mesmo aqui? A interrupção destruiu a torre de transmissão do Channel 1. Todas as palavras ofensivas foram censuradas. Um programa sem interferência, uma edição péssima. A Advance estava preocupada com o linguajar. A interrupção foi efetivamente silenciada. A interrupção arruinou a transmissão. Foi aquela parte que a gente teve que olhar, né, no quadro por 7 segundos. E meu Deus, 7 segundos foi um desastre. Você recebeu todo o seu pagamento. Riqueza atual pode pagar o café. não atualizou, ainda continua a pagar o café.